That's why you ain't here to sneeze.
Yeah.
All right. What's going on, people? Welcome to Drama Free Gaming. It is what it says, and it says what it is. These brothers tonight, are like horses at the gate, just ready to go. So we're gonna try to like get this intro out the way. This is Drama Free Gaming. As I said, I'm End Time. Welcome to the channel. Guys, if this is your first time tuning in or you've been here before, welcome. We appreciate the 350 plus subscribers. Steadily, surely, we're just growing, and it's cool because we're just the average Joes chatting it up, talking about a hobby, a gaming hobby that we have, and the game hobby can get rather expensive, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But we're gonna do some intros here, and then I'm gonna get into some details. Stick around on this episode. If you're tuning in live, you're probably going to have an opportunity here to win a Xbox Game Pass Ultimate code for 14 days. I'm gonna put that code in the chat. Of course, myself and Henyo and Dark Dad do not qualify. They're on the panel. They don't qualify.
Says who? I didn't sign
anyway,
up for that.
Let me introduce these brothers because they're going to kill me if I don't do it. I'm just talking real slow on purpose, but one is full of candy and the other one is just, he's hyped. He's ready to go. My brother from another mother, Jay, talk to these people.
Hello and welcome to Drama Free Gaming, people. I love you. Good to see you here. I got to, romance y'all people before we get ugly, because apparently it's gonna get ugly in here.
Man, don't make sure your voice don't go so low that we can't hear you. You know, like we were saying pre-show, you sounded like you was on that little kitty karaoke machine the last time. So
wow, so you see they clowning me already.
Give me them vocals, you know what I'm saying? Let's go. All right, my other brother from another mother, Henyo, talk to these people.
What's up? What's up? Sitting on the far left of the couch here. What up, my people? Happy Halloween. I hope you all had your festivities out the way. I know I do. Got my bag of candy here, milky, all sorts of goodies. So I'm wired. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to talk.
What?
This brother Henyo, I asked for a list. Let me get this on the record. I asked for a list, and Henyo sent me like a 2-pager, and I'm still waiting on Jay's list. So I don't know. It's just like, Henyo might take over the show here. What's up, Jay?
I got a short memory and I forgot. But
you forgot. It was yesterday, bro. It was Oh my gosh. I worry about you, brother. I worry about you. Hey, if you guys start filtering in to the chat, I know I posted this on the Discord. Soon you'll see that pop up on the chat, how you can connect to the DFG community there. Join up. Again, we're just a bunch of gamers. We're just having fun. And DFG Podcast is just an extension of that. We get together, we chat it up. You know, we're gamers. We do PC, we do Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, old school gaming, retro gaming, whatever it may be. And sometimes, we're passionate about things, but at the end of the day, like Jay likes to say, it's all about gaming. Relax, let's not get ourselves all worked up and, ready to bear arms. So,
amen.
With that said, Jay, I'm going to cut you loose because you're like, you're talking about, I got a topic and it's really good. You didn't send it to me. So people, for the record, I'm cutting Jay loose. I'm not responsible for the content that's coming.
Well, first off, before I get serious, I got to know. It is November. It is Turkey Month. So, brothers, what is the family cooking? Are you cooking? What you got going on for Thanksgiving?
Go ahead, Henyo. Answer that one.
The staple in the Puerto Rican community is going to be a turkey, but it will be side by side with a pork roast shoulder, better known as a pernil.
A pernil.
With the R.
Yes.
You got to roll the R. A pernil.
Yes.
With some arroz con gandules, a little salad, some potato salad. You know the whole. From there on, it goes crazy. But that's the main course right there next to the turkey. Actually, we stuffed the turkey with pernil.
Yes. We have pernil on the side, and then the turkey is stuffed with pernil. So, you're going to get pernil both ways. And then everything is like super seasoned. So when you season it up like that and you're done eating, you are definitely going into a coma. It's like it's lights out after that. Forget about watching football, basketball, talking. It's about just going to sleep. If you're one of the guys, if you're one of the girls, then y'all might start chatting it up the rest of the evening and whatnot. But I ain't one with that. So, well, we got a couple people in the chat. Shout out to my brother, D Message, and we got Papa Boy up in the chat. You guys feel free to interact with us. Let me throw that Discord link up there in case anybody else tunes in. Y'all can hit that link.
Y'all showed up for a show. Y'all act like y'all too good to come and deal with us.
The Message in the house. Paco Boy is in there. And I'm using gamer tag names, but, it's Javi and Richard, and they're in there. And what game is this? What game is it that I'm playing? This is this Sonic All-Star Racing on the Xbox 360. That's what's up on here. I threw this game on. I forgot how much fun this game is. And if you like Mario Kart, this has its own spin, like its own flavor. And I was playing this the other night for like 2-3 hours. I kid you not. So that's what you guys are seeing on the video. Check it out. Backwards compatible. So I got it in my collection. I think they were giving it free here a while ago. So
what's
check
up
it
with
out.
that turkey?
Check it out.
What's up with that turkey though?
Yeah, man. Turkey.
I'm talking to you. You didn't answer the question.
Well, I thought the one Puerto Rican guy answered for both. So it's.
Nah, he answered for him. He
listen,
say nothing about it.
Over here. I kind of have to sort of demand the turkey, because if not, it won't get done. Because my wife is like, oh, it's always turkey. I want to make something else. And I'm like, listen, woman, it's Thanksgiving. I'm Hispanic, Puerto Rican roots. I need my turkey and I need my rice. If you want to make like lasagna, you want to make spaghetti, you do that. But first, my turkey got to come. And it has to be whole. I don't like to eat like the shredded turkey. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see that bad boy whole. And once I see it whole and I like kiss it, take a picture, a selfie with it, and say the blessing, then you can shred it up all you want. But I need to see it. Like, I'm real traditional when it comes to that. So, yeah. So, it's going to be turkey. There's going to be potato salad, rice. Excuse me. You name it. Well, it's here. And sometimes my brothers, their wives be throwing down. Richard's wife, my brother Javi's wife, they just be throwing out. They come through with the desserts and added condiments. And put it this way. By the time we're done, everybody like brings Tupperware, because everybody's bringing food home and everybody has food for days. So that's just how it is. So we blessed like that. Which is why, I've been riding my bike again 10 miles every day and doing push-ups, because it's the season.
Talking about the ham.
Yeah, man. Oh, and the ham. Yep. Hobby likes that ham. He says, I got to make my famous ham. That's right, Hobby. That's right, bro.
See, we less traditional over here, so I'm gonna be actually the one cooking.
Okay.
And we're having ribeyes, pork chops, ribs.
It is, brother.
Macaroni and cheese.
Oh yes.
Potato salad. And we not talking this, brother. Who you licking at? Keep that tongue in your mouth.
I'm trying to like keep my drool from like running down my beard. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. We have collard greens, pumpkin pie, apple pie.
Oh my god!
And the household classic sweet potatoes covered in marshmallows with a touch
Oh
of cinnamon.
yes. That's a thing here. That's a thing. And since I got down here south, like I've learned a lot of these southern dishes and stuff. Well, not me. I've learned to love them and eat them, but. Oh my God, these women in my church be throwing down with these dishes like the corn casseroles.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, and biscuits and gravy. I never had biscuits and gravy in my life until I came down here, and I cried. I was like,
Man,
why? Like, why have I never had that? And now my wife put a twist on it now. I don't know what she does. She spices up that meat and the gravy that when I eat it, brother, it clears my sinuses. I'm smelling like it's like the sixth sense, bro. I can smell things that I've never smelled before.
This is the type of food that they find you like between the cushions with the remote.
yeah, right.
You're so sunk into that sofa. They're like, what is the remote? Where the hell is this at?
I'm telling you, bro. I be like, I don't know. I can't even tell you. But Paco's talking about no turkey for me this year. We're doing Thai food. Yo, his wife throws down. So,
really?
Yo, she throws down, bro. She throws down. That's why Paco's always on some sort of workout regimen, bro. He's got to do something because his wife throws down. So,
so
we're all blessed, man. Javi, Paco, me. I mean, but we got to watch ourselves because it might get too big for ourselves and then cut our lives short. So but anyway.
So let's get it started.
Yeah, so let's go, Jay, because I know that wasn't the topic. I'm ready. I'm loose. Let's go.
So on today's topic, I know we're called drama-free gaming, but I want to address something. So both of you tell me. We all like CD Projekt Red. Mm-hmm. If you don't know who CD Projekt Red is, go play The Witcher. They do more than that. They're a great company. But why are these cats getting death threats for a delay of a game? Serious.
And of course, we talk about Cyberpunk, right? 2077 got delayed until December 10th was the last that I heard.
Yeah, and they're getting death threats because of a delay.
Yeah, man.
I mean, seriously, these guys are developers. They work like we do. You got no business sending death threats to these cats. What are y'all feeling about that?
Go ahead, Henyo. I'm just going to sit here and admire my screen.
I think it's just what is that about? Why the need to threaten a developer? Not like I mean, you're only going to delay the process because now you got to make sure the area is secure, whatever in the back end of their building or whatever data they have flowing back and forth to their homes and stuff. But that just doesn't make sense. What you're just delaying things, or you're just a fly in the pile of shit that we're in. Excuse the term.
Well described.
I must agree with you. What about you, Sam? What's going on with you on that?
Brother, it's unnecessary. It's uncalled for. But here's the deal. Because we are just spoiled. That's what it is. In general, as gamers, this hobby, in the position, and I can probably speak for all three of us, we grown. We have some disposable income and we buy multiple games a year, right? So, I know it's uncalled for, but people are just spoiled. People are all about, what's the next thing? What's the next experience? What's the next phone? What's the next, you fill in the blank. And a lot of times, and that's going to be a topic that we're going to talk about here tonight, but, you got all these games. You got this big old backlog dating back to the ColecoVision, and you're worried about a game that has been in production that, yes, CD Projekt Red, maybe the mistake that they made was that they announced that they were going gold, and they did. And I made the comment the last show that we did that I don't know of a game that has been announced as going gold. And going gold means they printed the disc. It's ready to go. And then to turn around and say that it's delayed. Listen, for me, I'm not about that crunch. I'm about take your time. We got plenty of games to play. And absolutely. If you need 6 months, a year, take it. Who am I that you need to hurry or feel rushed to? If I'm gonna play your game, I'm gonna play your game. Whether it's now, it's like the same thing I feel about Halo. Please don't tell me that Halo's coming out in spring of 2021 or even in summer of 2021. if they come out, I hope it comes out like this time next year. You know what I'm saying? Like in the winter. Push that bad boy out. Give me a Halo experience that I'm going to be like, man, this game is fantastic. And it's going to make me forget that there was ever any problems or delays. And CD Projekt Red is one of those companies that much respect. CD Projekt Red is top tier on my list of developers. So I got their backs. CD Projekt Red, I don't care if you take 2 more years putting out that game. And you know why it's delayed? They won't say, but everybody suspects the same thing. And this is coming from an Xbox guy. I think it's the OG Xbox One that's holding it back. I really do.
Going back to one of your points, though, are you telling me, in your own personal opinion, you think it's entitled gamers that are making this as bad as what it is right
I think it's a real small, insignificant part of the population of gamers that's just boo-hooing and, you know, I want my game now. You know, those are the dudes that are still living in their mother's basements. They're like 35 years old, ain't got no work. They play 24 hours a day. They're trying to stream on some sort of channel and trying to make a buck so that they can upgrade their computer. That's all. That's what I really think it is. And I got no qualms saying that because you're talking about a title. Look at this game. The new Assassin's Creed, Valhalla, Odyssey. Look at what's the new Watch Dogs that came out. These games, we're talking about games, they're not 10 hours long. They're not 20 hours long. These are 30 plus hours long. CD Projekt Red put out Witcher 3. That's a 60 plus hour experience if you know what you're doing.
Well, not counting the content, you're looking over 100 hours.
Yeah.
Wild Hunt and
Yeah. And I've said it here before. If you guys don't know CD Projekt Red, I mean, you living under a rock, because CD Projekt Red, out of the developers out there, they are top notch. They don't release garbage, and they're in a position where they're not owned by, you know, another company. They have no pressure to put out this game. They are self-reliant. As a matter of fact, if you're on PC, go check out their site, GOG, G-O-G. They sell games. They publish games, okay? So they, you know, for you to threaten them or anybody, it's nonsense. It's just flat out nonsense. And it's unfortunate, to be honest.
And I'm going to let you guys know online, by the way, certain people don't play that threaten thing. So if you threaten somebody on the internet and, hey, I want to go find this person and knock on their front door, I'm going to warn you. Knock on my front door with that threatening. You might come in. How you get out is on you. That's all I got to say about that.
Hobby's talking about in the chat. Let me just catch this chat for a moment because they're interacting. Hobby's saying, that's what happens when you hype it with Keanu. With Keanu Reeves. Yeah. I mean, look at what happened with the launch that is about a week away of the Xbox Series. Okay? On that box that you're going to get, what game is going to be on there? Halo. Right?
Yeah.
That was their launch game. And I'm glad they delayed it. I'm so glad that they didn't put out a piece of trash, because Halo is Xbox and Xbox is Halo. If Halo doesn't blow it out the water, I don't know, man. I don't know about that franchise. I don't know about that studio.
It'll be fine because, you know, they got money and they're under the Microsoft brand, so they're going to get it right.
And that's why they delayed it. That's exactly why they could afford to delay it, because that's Microsoft.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Getting death threats over their game, but wait, let's imagine it's not CD Projekt Red. Cyberpunk is going to be a bigger game than Halo, and I'll put money on it. Anybody who wants to step up, tell me now.
I'm gonna step up and tell you that it's not gonna be a bigger game than Halo.
Okay,
it's not. It's
$1.
not. It's gonna sell. Listen, it's gonna sell well. but Halo multiplayer is going to scrape Cyberpunk. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. The multiplayer community, there's people still playing on Halo 2 servers. Okay?
Yeah. You know the difference between Halo 2 and the new Halo coming out? The Halo 2 ain't monetized. The new Halo is.
Listen, if we're gonna talk about that a little bit deeper here, like Henyo said, this is gonna be like a 2-part. It's gonna be a 3-part by the time we done, because I got some. Bring that one back, Dave. Bring it back. I dare you. Bring it back later on, because I'm gonna hit you over the head with something, and we're gonna go back to this episode in the future, and I'm gonna see. I told you. I'm gonna say exactly that. I told you. Let me see. Hold on. Richard says, have you heard about the PS5 controversy with his customizable faceplates? Yep. We're going to comment on that for a little bit. He also said Halo and Dying Light 2, which is the game I want to play, both are delayed. Yep. They're both delayed. And Javi's talking about Jay's taking pinky toes. Jay's taking pinky toes. Jay don't know what he's talking about.
Oh, excuse me?
Richard is like, can't be Halo Online. It's a classic. Exactly. That's the young man. Learn from the young man. He knows what he's talking about, bro. It's a classic.
You ain't got nothing to teach me, young boy. Nothing.
If Halo Infinite drops perfect, it's going to blow everything out the water. I'm sorry. The fandom for Halo. The fandom for Halo, bro. I'm telling you. I'm gonna step back.
What will bring Halo over the top? What is it? What is the one request that would bring Halo over the top? Like, I've played Halo, but I'm not I don't log on to their servers and play. What would be the one thing that would like just blow Halo? Like, what would make it above average of what we've seen in the past?
That's a good question.
Go ahead, Jay.
Is it?
Oh man, the last Halo I played was. What, me and you played Halo 2. We didn't beat it.
Yeah, we did.
We beat Halo 2?
We beat Halo 2, bro.
Oh, okay.
You see this brother talk about Halo and he don't even remember?
So it had co-op. It obviously has multiplayer.
Yeah.
So what? Halo is the only. Halo is the only multiplayer game that competes with COD constantly. Mm-hmm. And I don't care when anybody says, Halo was the foundation for multiplayer as it sits today. Points to Halo. As far as what make it better, I would say I'm gonna have to defer to the Halo player. So if I got a Halo player in here, step up and answer my man question, because that one might be out of my ballpark.
Paco said in the chat, he said to answer Henyo's question, bring it back to its roots. Bring it back to the roots. And I agree. If you give
multiplayer, good pure multiplayer, game design and
listen, I'm gonna bring it up here because Jay touched upon it and now he's shying away from it. He talk about the monetization of Halo and this and that. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna tell you the deal. If you guys out there are gamers and you haven't woke up and smelled the coffee yet and understand and realize that games are coming out now, huge games are coming out now, and they're converting over to those play service games, then you've been, I don't know where you at, okay? Because that's what's coming. That's what's coming for Halo. That's what's coming for Forza. Forza's going to be another one, and PlayStation's going to follow suit with their games as well. So don't be surprised when you get a game like Halo Infinite and you're going to get your campaign. And it's going to be dope. It's going to have a good campaign. You're going to get satisfied. But if you're going to want to continue living in that world a la Destiny, that's what's coming. That's what's coming.
I'm going to call it right now. Since you want to bring this topic up, let's go with the first-person shooters that have failed with this Halo Infinite thing. Star Wars Battlefront 2. They saved it, but it failed initially. Wrong or right?
Continue.
Just saying, wrong or right?
Listen, every one of these games that you're going to mention has their own community, their own flavor. You're talking about Star Wars. Who put Star Wars out? Who's the company behind that?
EA. I don't care.
Exactly. There you go. That's all I gotta say. EA.
Let me call you out there.
Next.
Okay, hold on.
Next.
2K Sports. 2K Sports.
Oh my God, another one.
No.
2K.
No. You want to call it 2K? Okay, 2K Sports. NBA 2K has been the leading basketball game and the bestseller for well over 10 years.
Yes.
Just started monetizing the game. Game sunk now.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to play it.
They went down the path of destruction. They got greedy. It doesn't mean now. Let me step back. Let me step back, Jay. Hold on. Let me step back. NBA 2K is still, regardless of everything else, let's push everything aside, it's still the best NBA sim experience. Yes or no?
Because it's the only one. It's the only one.
It's still the best.
By monopoly, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not my fault that EA, didn't continue live. What happened there?
Because EA don't know how to make a basketball game.
You know why? Because EA said, soccer is more popular, more worldwide. We can throw some loot boxes in here and cheat some little kids out of their money. That's what they did.
That's dirty too.
Yeah, they went for bigger fish. They said basketball is an American thing. Basketball is still growing in other nations, but soccer's worldwide. Loot boxes. Right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, over here in Orlando, they just build
NBA Live.
Yeah. Go ahead, Henyo. Go ahead.
Right. No, it's true. I mean, EA Sports, when they were in their prime, they were rolling out great NBA titles. But little by little, that gameplay became stale. It's almost like they didn't really know how to reinvent the basketball game experience, and it started to decline. And lo and behold, along comes the FIFA licensing, and they just start. It starts growing in popularity here in America.
Yeah.
And I started witnessing this when I was working at Babbage's. Europeans coming in trying to get an American version of FIFA soccer, and I was like, why you want soccer for? And it was the dawning of like what was to come, and it was FIFA soccer, and it just blew up to the point even I was trying it out, and it's absolutely true. FIFA soccer by far, they've picked it up and just ran with it and made it their pride.
Yeah.
I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and I'm sure the numbers for FIFA, the sales, and the continual base of players there is much, much, much higher than NBA players, than the NBA 2K series.
Yeah, I mean, but speaking to EA before we get back on subject, I'm sorry, but we speaking on soccer, but we can't forget the biggest elephant in the room when it comes to EA, how they ruin. I'm sorry.
I lost you. How they ruined what?
Yeah, they ruined Madden. Did you hear me? Can you hear me?
They ruined Madden. Madden was going down that path a long time ago as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's without another NFL game to compete.
Yeah.
They just run all over that. And I'm sorry. I'm an NFL 2K5 football guy. I think that was the best football game ever made.
And isn't it ironic? Isn't it ironic that you just said, "Oh, I'm a NFL 2K5." 2K was putting out an actual competing NFL game, and look where they're at today.
Making basketball games, still making money.
Making basketball games why didn't they stay in the camp for football? Because EA said, nah, y'all guys are too good. We're going to buy this license up. And that's what they did.
What the NFL was thinking when they made that decision.
Because actually Madden, I don't know, Henyo, talk to me about that, but I actually enjoyed Madden back on the days.
Wait,
for sure. We love the cartridge base. I mean,
man. On the Sega, on the Super Nintendo, I enjoyed Madden back.
EA Sports in general just had a grip hold on the sporting community.
Yeah.
Whether it was baseball, NBA, Madden, hockey. I mean, there wasn't too many games that they just didn't dominate. Granted, back then, cartridge based, there wasn't too many competitors, they were out there, but they, just even what was it, the MVP series, even baseball, they kind of
Yes.
handled for a little bit. But they I think they just focused in on a couple of key sports, and they kind of like, put all their eggs, like they put all those eggs in their nest, and they said, okay, we're gonna really focus on these, and whatever falls. I think one of the first fallouts was the baseball game. I loved MVP baseball.
Yes.
But they just said, okay, that's enough baseball. And I think that's the point that 2K took over baseball. Fortunately, it was short-lived thereafter.
That
Right.
was 2K10,
The 2K
11,
series. I
12,
tried,
right?
yeah. I played the last one. The last one was so buggy on the Xbox 360. Not only was the Xbox 360 having red rings of death issues, the game was unplayable. So even if you were able to boot up your 360, you still had to clear the hurdle of trying to load up the baseball game. The
That's
2K
crazy.
series. But just going back to to the whole EA Sports, they had a grip hold on all sporting events, and little by little they kind of started saying, okay, that's not important, this is. And they really focused on Madden football, NBA Live, and FIFA soccer. They're even I wouldn't say hockey has fallen off. They kind of maintain it.
Yeah.
But I think even 2K came out with a hockey game at one point.
Yeah, they still do. I think they still do a hockey game.
Yeah.
See, so I mean, they might have like still love for certain titles, but you could definitely see what where they're saying, okay, this is where the money's at, and this is where we're gonna invest.
Yeah. Yeah. Richard's talking about, he makes comments. He makes some pretty good points. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but he says EA is going to be a part of Game Pass because it can't make it on its own. And I'm assuming the EA service. Well, what do y'all guys think about that? You think that's the reason why they kind of consolidating into Game Pass here?
No. EA's been hated for long over 5 years, and the EA got a whole. So no, they'll be just fine. They doing that to boost their credibility.
Okay.
That's what I think. Personally.
Yeah, I had the EA Play Pass, and I didn't find myself loading up too many of these titles. If anything, I would go back for UFC, and also to see what I missed on the last year's Madden, because they would give you access to the year before, and there just wasn't too many things that I would load up. Or probably the hockey I would also touch on the EA Play. So, but I don't think Madden was like the one that I really stood for in the EA Play subscription.
Right.
What about you, man?
For me, it's interesting just because I'm thinking, we just talked about it for a minute, games as service. For me, I always thought it made sense, even more so now, that sport games that we go out, for those of us who do, I don't, but we go out year after year and pick up that year's sport, whether that's football, baseball, basketball, whatever it is. And I'm like, why not just make it a service game where you can just update rosters, maybe pay like a $10 upgrade, whatever, to get the new rosters, stadiums, whatever, and just and call it a day. But I just don't understand why every year, and maybe Henyo can help me with this because he's a big MLB person, and I know that year after year he goes out and he gets MLB The Show, which is an amazing game. I'm not knocking it, but I always thought that if there's a model there that fits the criteria, it would be sports games.
Quality. That's
Right?
what it comes down to. Quality. Right. You want to play a game that you're gonna enjoy. Reversing a little bit to the earlier conversation, putting out a game before its time. Right now, I'm experiencing that with Flight Simulator. Talk about bugs upon bugs upon bugs. It is there when they have developer update sessions. They literally have a list of all the bugs in the game, and they go line by line reviewing what users are logging into Zendesk and documenting as a bug. And they listen to the community, so I give them credit for that. They're paying attention to what the community is saying. Hey, we're seeing this a lot, we're seeing that a lot, And it was almost, I started thinking, man, I think maybe this game came out a little too soon, because everything that they showed earlier in the year was like, yo, this is it. This is the flight sim to have. And I have it now, and it's like, this game is not right. It's not in a good place. I can't play this game for more than a half hour before something is wrong.
Wow.
And if you're a flight, not to stick too long on this subject, but if you're a flight enthusiast, you're very precise on the flight dynamics of a flight sim. You don't have that wiggle room. You don't want your you don't want your flight sim to feel like Need for Speed. You're very precise when you fly. You feel the difference when you're dragging wind, when you're nose diving, when you're stalling. All these effects. It's critical to a simmer, right? They really pay attention to this, and they hone in on it. And when you give a simmer something like an arcade-ish type of game, they're gonna call you out on it, and that's what's pressing up against this flight sim right now. The community saying this game is not fixed, it's not right, and every 3 weeks at this point, they got some explaining to do. Oh, we're gonna fix that in our next update. We're gonna fix it on our next update, and that's been the recurring title.
Yeah.
Now, do you want Crisis? Do you want what was the Cyberpunk to come out like that?
Oh no, they better not.
I don't want any of my games to come out like that. It's unfortunate. I always go back to it. That's what happened to me with Division 2, where Division 1, when it came out, I was just so overwhelmed and enthusiastic about it because it was a new IP, a new world, new concept, and even though it came out broke as heck, it was for me, it was like, okay, it's new. You know what I'm saying? It's fresh. I'm going to go through the growing pains. The same thing with Destiny. Destiny was broke. The first one, Vanilla Destiny. But I played that game. But then the sequels came out for both of those games, and day one patches. This is broken. That is broken. This needs to be readdressed. We need to take this out. And it killed the experience for me. And I said, that's it. I'm done. And I no longer play either of those games. I'm sad to say I love both of those worlds, but I don't play it because for me, it's like, you didn't get it. You didn't learn from the first one. Like, or if you learned, what did you learn? Because it feels just like the first one, except, you put some fresh paint on it, change the location. I don't know. You did something else, but
when do you give up on a developer?
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
When do you give up? Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, Jay.
Well, to go back to that first question, the first topic we were talking about with the Division, I want to back him up by saying when we were playing the Division 1, there is proof. Division 1, we'd have hours upon hours in that game. When the game was broken, there were points in that game where we couldn't even move forward because we were so underpowered.
Yeah. I mean, and you're understating it, not hours. We had weeks. Okay, cumulative time. We had weeks, if not months, of game time in that world. So yeah, I mean, it happens to everybody. And again, I don't take anything from Ubisoft. I still think that they're a great developer. I love some of their worlds, but I would, if they announced Division 3 today, I would be curious. I'd be interested, and I would probably play it just for the story.
Yeah, they got to do it right, though. I mean, it just has to be done right.
Well, I would probably return to the world, play it again, because that's how much I love the world. And then the moment that I see that it's just going right down that path, I'm done. I'm done with it.
Now, to you, Enyo, what makes you give up on the game company?
Well, before we answer that question, let me go to the chat and because I think Paco made another good point where he says, well, he actually commented on Madden. He said Madden all day. 2K can't compete with Madden. In 2K, you had to tap the A button to sprint. So
I tell you what, Paco. When you can bring me a game to the table that ain't been the same coat of paint for the past 15 years, then we can talk.
Okay, he's calling you out, bro. He's calling you out.
And trust me, that's a fact. Madden HA. Oh, what'd you do? Oh, we can. The crowd can jump up and down. Oh, the Madden factor. If I kick a field goal, your whole team can run through for no reason.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Wait. Trust me, I can give you everything wrong with the Madden for the past 15 years, and they haven't fixed it. Paco, I'm sorry. Come correct.
Okay.
Madden ain't the thing to come at me, bro, because Madden has been broken for 15 years. And if you love it, you're a lemming. Grow up.
If you are in the chat right now and you're catching this live, be attentive because this code for 14 days of Game Pass Ultimate is going to drop here in a minute or two or maybe three. But if you're in the chat, I want you to just say what's up. And so like that, I know you're here. You have a pulse, and you're still with us. And so let's go to the next topic.
Nothing but love for you, Paco.
I got Javier, he's posing. He's having a schizophrenic moment. He's in the podcast. Genio, aka Javier. He's in the chat.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
I could use 2 weeks of Ultimate Game Pass.
His brother, man. Wow.
I hope.
But I know Rich is watching the gameplay and he's like he's wanting to play this game now. This Sonic All-Star Racing. It's a great game. It's a lot of fun. He says sports games are hard to keep up with. You paying for new roster and maybe new button combo. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, see, that's a good point.
It's true.
Good point.
You know, because then I mean, but still, a game is a game. I mean, how much you can't change the rules of the game. Well, you could just make it as more contemporary. Right. You could try to maybe change a couple of things. But overall, the game is the game. You can't change football itself. Mm-hmm. That's just the gameplay of it. What can you focus on? Maybe the different dynamics and stuff like that. And they've tried everything, to this point: franchise mode, manager mode, player mode, career mode. They throw out different modes, and it's gonna get stale at some point. So where else do you innovate? The interaction with it, or graphics is going to always be there every year in and out. So my experience with the MLB The Show is just simple little tweaks. I mean, it's still the fundamental gameplay of baseball. You're going to swing at a ball and miss it. What happens there, what you see, what you visualize, and how immersive you feel in that game is what makes you keep coming back. One of the things that I love about MLB The Show is you could import your music, right? So you could import walk-ups and stuff like that. Does football does that? No. Does NBA do that? I don't know. They might have different soundtracks and stuff like that for you to follow. So little innovative ways to keep the game fresh, will keep you coming back.
Yeah, and you know what? And you just like sparked up a topic. I'm not going to mention it now, but I'm going to save that one for another episode because the 2-part becomes a 3-part, becomes a 5-part. The best thing is, anyways, we're just going to keep running with the podcast, but let's hit that. And Paco says, remember when 2K was $20? That was the move. Yeah, I remember. They came out very, very, very competitive, and they had a great game. I had a lot of fun with the 2K series, but, everyone grows up, and then they get into the market, and sometimes, they take a path that they feel is the best for them, and not necessarily, gamers, and, then history repeats itself. Anyways, when do you give up on a developer? I really want to get into that. When do you give up on a developer? And Henyo bought this topic, so.
Yeah, so to lead off, you give up on a developer when they just can't innovate. And I'm sorry. When your innovation is crappy, or when you send a game that ain't even done fully cooked, which EA is notorious for, I'm sorry, but I can't give you like EA, I'm sorry, you are the company I've given up. I used to love EA. I did. EA used to put out a quality product. But now and I'm sorry, Paco, I'm gonna have to say it again, Madden, Anthem, I mean, the list goes on and on with EA. They can't seem to get it right. How do you not get given up on when you're always voted the worst gaming company ever? You ain't learned your lesson yet? You don't want to grow up? Are you not smelling what these people are? Oh, hey, make us a better game, EA. Well, we're just going to give you what we want to give you. Really? Come on now.
Well, I mean, we don't know what we can probably guess and speculate what the MO is there. What's the top priority. But I agree with you. So when a company can't innovate or won't innovate, that's when you're done.
That's that. I mean, gaming is about technology and innovation. It always has been, and nobody can say otherwise on that because it's true.
Because I wanted to ask you, what did you mean by innovation? What do you mean by that? The games they put out, the tech that they're using, like.
Okay,
Talk
well
to
let's
me.
go back. Let's go back to Madden then. Madden is a prime example of EA's failure to innovate. So you take Madden, right? When Madden hit next gen and everybody was like, "Yo, this Madden is that." Even I was like, "Yo, Madden is hot." But as Madden went on, it was, "Hey, here's Madden 2016. Okay, great game. What did they do different?" There are people in the stadium jumping up and down. Oh, cool. Then the next year, it's Madden. What was it? Madden 2017. Oh, look, it's 2016. But now you can control what your coach does. That's not innovation. That's just here. Let's add in this little feature to shut these people up and move on. That's not innovation.
So
That's
you
just
don't think adding a career mode into a game is innovative?
no, because career modes are for most sports games. That's not innovative because you should have a career mode. I mean, you had career mode in Madden 95. I'm sorry. That's not innovative. That's standard. Any
Okay.
sports game you've played, besides, back in the days of 2-bit, 8-bit or whatever you want to call it, what's so innovative about a career mode? Seriously, they were doing it in college games, and college was far better than Madden. So I'm saying, am I wrong? Would anybody like to question me or challenge me on that?
Why you looking
It's a
for a
strong
fight,
point.
bro?
Yeah, he is looking for a fight.
He's been feisty all night.
It's true though. It comes down to innovation. Even the smallest of innovations. If you continue to, enhance the product and just bring a little something different to the game, it definitely helps. The community notices it, and they're gonna start standing behind you. Not every game is gonna be a hit, but again, the quality of the game, along with what he's saying here is, you want stability, you want something new, you want something fresh and stability, and some people just can't let go of the developer. They have faith in it. They wait for the next year. It's almost like liking the Mets. Next year they're gonna be a great team. Oh,
Hey, that's coming from a Yankee fan.
oh, did that one hit a rib?
Oh man.
Oh,
No,
man.
I just laugh because there was a point when I lived up in New York in the Bronx. I was literally from my window of my apartment on the 13th floor. I could look out my window, my bedroom window, and I can see Yankee Stadium, the old Yankee Stadium, the lights, and I can hear the crowds, especially during the playoff season and the championships. I can hear them, like literally. It was like it was a sight to see. It was a sight to see. But I never rooted for the Yankees. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, and the Mets, yeah, I was there for the '86 Mets, but
Riding the bandwagon with the 86, man.
but no. I actually liked the Mets. We talk about Doc Gooden back in the Doc Gooden days. Okay, I know a little something about that. But whatchamacallit, yeah, I always rooted for like the underdog. Like if you tell me if I had to pick between Mario and Luigi, I'm gonna tell you Luigi. If you tell me Ryu and Ken, I'm gonna tell you Ken. I just always I'm always for the underdog. Always.
and gamers are passionate about the developer hoping to come out. Please relive that time that we had a great game.
Right.
They want to come back to that point in which they say, I remember when I enjoyed this game, and it's
Yeah.
hard to really like get back into a game and cherish it. And that's my fear now with the show.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna start going into cross platform, and my hope is that the attention just doesn't dissipate. Like I hope the attention to detail, to innovation continues with that series, because if not, we're gonna end up in the 2K series mode
Yeah.
for baseball.
Oh,
Yeah.
It steadily declined. 2K baseball was good. I was playing it prior to you, Sam. You telling me about MLB The Show? What was I playing?
Yeah, you
I
was
was
playing
playing
hardball.
Hardball and 2K series.
And 2K. And I remember hardball specifically because you was one that you was actually like customizing the little insignias and actually getting the real player names on your rosters. I mean, you was deep into it. You was treating it like a Sims game.
Right.
oh, that's dope.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Henyo got into it, bro. He would actually design like the logos and everything in hardball. And yeah, that's why I said I introduced him to MLB. I said, yo, MLB is dope, man. Go check it out.
I was hesitant. I'll be the first to admit it. I was very hesitant. I was like, I don't think I want to stray away from where I'm at.
Right.
But when the decline of 2K series happened, and hardball eventually,
Yeah.
it became something different. I just said, okay, let me give the show a try. And little by little, I saw the innovation slowly develop. But year in, year out, you know what? That innovation was there. That that new. Everything was new every year. It just whether it was gameplay or the graphics or something added feature, it was there for us to for me to embellish it and soak it in and enjoy it.
Now,
Yeah.
I will say though,
And let me say this, Jay, before because Paco made a good point in the chat. He says with a sports game, it's very hard to be different unless you do something like NFL Street or NBA Jam, like a spin-off. What y'all think about that? That's innovative.
Not necessarily. I mean, those games are meant more family.
You think so?
NFL Blitz started that whole thing. Why did we play NFL Blitz? Because it's ridiculously fun. Why do people play regular Madden? Because it's fun. But it don't mean that you can't find different ways. I mean, EA got too much money and too much technology to not be able to be more innovative than what they are. They're just lazy. And
well, hold on. I'm gonna play the advocate here because I don't think that's fair. Even though it's EA, how put yourself in that position, especially with a franchise and a game that's coming out year after year after year. I mean, it's clockwork. How realistic is it to be innovative, and to what extent? Because Henyo just said something that got me thinking. When he started playing MLB in its early inception, he was there and he grew with the game. You know what I'm saying? From the beginning, he grew with the game. So he saw, the potential. He saw the game growing and to what it's become now. But I think sometimes we look at franchises that have been out forever and we go, oh, this is the same game as last year. And that might be the truth, but what more can you, to what point? And that goes right back full circle to the question. When do you give up on the developer? When do you move on from the game? Because it's not going to grow. There's no room for it to grow. Okay. What else? What else you gonna add to it?
Well, first off, and let's take Madden for an example. I'm not trying to pick a fight, Pac. I'm gonna be straight with you. If Madden was a game that was released every 2 to 3 years, they made in that game in those years they made and developed the best game graphically that they could possibly give you if they had to max out the specs of the system. Here's your new Madden. And for those 3 years, they go, hey, here's a roster update. Oh, guess what? We came out with something new. Here you go. Hey, here's this. Here you go. And all you had to do was $10 here for a roster update.
Well, wasn't that what you was just criticizing about Halo when I told you it's gonna go games for service?
Well, no, hold on. I'm talking
because that's what you're talking about. Games as a service. Give me a game, let's play, and give me 3 years of support.
Yeah, but a lot of that don't work. Division 2 failed at it. Destiny.
Oh, so you were gonna say So EA, give me a game that it took you 3 years. Give me a Madden that took you 3 years for you to work the engine, give me all this, and then what? And then still come to the same conclusion?
Oh, that would be their fault for not even trying. Because if you don't attempt it or try it in the first place, it ain't gonna work. And trust me, the proof is out there. Even you can't deny that.
No, I maybe I'm misunderstanding you, Jay. I want to understand what you're just saying. And Henyo, maybe you might have to be the mediator here. I don't understand. You're saying, I just made the point. A game comes out, Call of Duty. Let's talk about Call of Duty, okay? There's 3 different studios that rotate. I think now it's 2 that go back and forth, okay?
Treyarch, Activision.
Yeah. I think it's 2. I think they cut one out, or they I don't know what they did. But anyways.
I know they wanted to extend the extra year.
Yeah. So, but you have Black Ops, you have
Treyarch.
COD, and you have Modern Warfare, right?
Modern Warfare is Activision. COD is the same thing as Modern.
Okay. But you have then 2 games. You have Black Ops and you have Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is the same thing, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's the same thing, but it's 2 different story arcs, universes, whatever. Okay, entertain me, humor me. Okay, so you got those games coming out every year, but those series come out every other year. Okay, just to be clear, there's gonna be a Call of Duty every single year, whether it's Black Ops or whether it's COD or Modern Warfare, whatever you want to call it. Okay,
correct.
So you're saying, this is what I want to understand. You're saying if they would just, instead of doing that rotation, say, okay, we're going to cease from releasing these games every year, and we're going to develop this one game. Let's say Black Ops. Okay. We're going to take 3 years to work on Black Ops, and we're going to give you a banging campaign. We're going to give you a banging multiplayer. And we're going to release the game. It's going to be no bugs, nothing. Going to take full advantage of the hardware. And then what do you want after that? You want support for it? Is that what you're saying?
Well, every game has a support, so come give me a little bit.
But I'm talking about, like, you want them to add to that game.
Yeah, that's support.
In that 3-year period.
In the 3-year period, you want them to add content. Let me be specific. You want them to add content to that game.
In a 3-year period, if a game's been developed for 3 years, there should be no need for content at least the first 1 or 2 years. But most games now, when they drop, content's burnt through in a week?
And that's but you see, but that's my point, Jay. I think sometimes we get trapped in the what I call the echo chamber of social media. Okay,
well, I don't have media,
this is my point. Now I'm gonna give it to you, and you might agree, you might not. If you guys don't agree with me, tell me. But when we talk about games as a service, we all understand as gamers. I'm talking in general. All of us, from the hardcore, I'm living in the basement, got no life, okay, to I can play a game maybe an hour or 2 a week. Let's just say that, okay? Maybe I'm a weekend warrior. Let's call it that way, okay? With all that said, content, right? We all know and we all can agree. Content as for a game as a service, content is king, correct?
Correct.
Content is king. But when you have, again, not the majority, but the minority burning through your content on a weekend because they stayed up and they played 72 hours of your game, okay? Which humanly, you wasn't supposed to play that game 72 hours marathon in a row. But again, because that's your career, that's how you make your living, that's how you make your content, you must, in order to survive in your world, you must go through that content. then all we hear and all that gets magnified is, oh, there ain't enough content. When's the new content coming out? We go right back to the boohoo baby criers that are saying, well, we're going to go kill you, CD Projekt Red, because where's my game? I have nothing to play. Isn't that the same argument? That's what gets me pissed. I'm for real. Because gamers, normal, average gamers like us, we're nobodies. And by the way, this podcast is sponsored by me, because no one cares about us, okay? So that's what I'm trying to tell you, Jay. You don't get stuck in this echo chamber and believe the hype, brother. I'm trying to rescue you. I'm throwing you a lifeline. Think with me for a second.
First off, I don't need a lifeline. I'm probably smarter than most people that play games now.
I know you are, brother. I know you are. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why here at DFG Podcast, I refuse, guys. I refuse to go with the narrative of, oh, there's no content in this game. Of course there's no content. You had a time frame of playing that game to make your videos, to get your clicks, to get monetized, to pay your rent, and to eat. Mm-hmm. And I'm not blaming you. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But then don't come out here and whine and complain, and pardon the language, and bitch that there's no content. In your world, there's no content.
I've never, ever really complained about a game not having content.
Oh, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people who do that, because then they throw in some bad shade on some developers that really don't deserve it. They really don't. That's my opinion. I'm just saying that's my opinion.
No, and your opinion is well taken, because it's a good point. I just wish that some of these developers, not all developers deserve it. Some do, because some are lazy. But
I agree.
To your point, a lot of it, you are correct. They've been doing like games by service for years now. Nobody really noticed it, but they have been doing that. But I guess I should say, to not look like a jackass, excuse my language, developers, if you ever hear this, which I know you, sometimes it's good to take a step back and listen to your communities.
Yes.
Because the division that gets created, even though it's the minority, sometimes it's your own fault. Because you didn't let the game cook enough. You didn't, throw any more ideas. There are people that they come out, put out a game. Within the week, you got your own buttheads that sit down, grind it out. I ain't got nothing to play. All right, fine, that's you. But at the same time, make sure the game is complete. Yeah. I've set it up. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, also, there is that rush to get it out the door. Sometimes it is beyond their control. As much as they say, you know what, we can't, this game is not finished, this game is not complete. I think the developer or the person paying, writing out the check says, just get it up and running enough,
right? So
we could get it out the door, and everything else will set it up as a Game Pass, what you call it, a downloadable extra, whatever the case may be, right? Start the game small. Just give them enough to play, and then we'll include seasons, right. We'll include patches and all that, right. And it's becoming the new norm DLC. In which the game is gonna be patched. Don't worry, just give it a week. Right. That type. Just get it out the door. So some of this is just straight out of their control. They don't have a choice. They have to get the game out the door.
And I get that, and I get it's it's the bottom line. Companies want their bottom line on the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they need to get that out the door in preparation for the holidays.
I think Kenyo hit a nerve when he's saying, I think it's a reality when he's saying companies that are, that are under the gun, quote unquote, because they got stockholders and a board and people's careers and livelihood are on the line. Yeah, you're under that pressure. But when you're a company like CD Projekt Red, you're not. because you're self-owned, self-operated, self-published. If CD Projekt Red turned around today and said, you know what, the game is not up to snuff to our standard and to what we want it to be, it's not coming out for another 2 years, there ain't nothing and no one that anybody can say about nothing.
And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, he's right. You make death threats.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want, but at the end of the day, you don't pay their bills. You don't feed their families.
Nope.
And for me personally, as a gamer, I want the best game my money can buy.
And as an investor with my Robinhood app, I buy my shares of EA, and I expect for EA to pump out a Madden that year and on time, so like that I can see my revenue grow.
That's it.
Hey, that's how that works, guys. I mean, there's so many moving pieces to this puzzle and this thing that we take casually because we're all armchair quarterbacks, as gamers. We're always looking at it from a perspective of, man. But I try to keep him in my mind, and I've heard this in several other podcasts. I try to keep in my mind that I don't want to believe that there are any people working on any games that they dedicate a year, 2 years, 3 years plus of their life, where they sacrifice family time and vacation time and sometimes their own health to put out a product. And they're doing it with the motivation or the thought of, oh, I want to make this game as trash and as garbage as I can. I don't think no one does that. I don't think no one goes into a project like that. There's other factors. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to separate the human beings from the politics, the process, the corruption, the greed, the whoremongers. Those are the ones that we see and we hear about on social media, and they're on the front page, and you don't care for. And when you say EA, you're really not saying that you hate EA. You're saying that you don't like the dude that's seated right now, and he's in charge. He's a CEO. That's what you're saying.
He needs to make better decisions because your bottom line don't mean nothing when people turn their back on it.
Eventually, they feel it in the sales, in which they'll go back to the developers and whip them up a little bit. It's a constant pressure to pump out a decent title.
But I think most developers need to follow CD Projekt Red's example, as in, we're gonna take our time. We're going to give you the best game we can give you without the hassle, no cuss, no muss. But, at the same time, y'all got to give us a break, because if you want this game to be fully cooked, you got to step back and let us do our cooking.
Yeah.
So it works on both ends.
Paco always making some good points. He's interacting. I'm trying to keep up with his things here, but he says, I'm sorry to say, though, but I feel like Halo will never be the same since Bungie left. Gears of War has also fallen since the first two.
That was Cliff Blazinski's run.
But you know what? To speak about the latter, Cliff Blazinski, well, from what was put out there, he pretty much gave Microsoft the middle finger when he left. And then he wanted to play cute and wanted to come back. If that was the story, that's supposedly how it was spun, whether or not it was true. But you know what? My opinion, we move on. And there's been developers that have stepped in and have done a great job and have brought innovation to titles that we've been used to being a certain way. And again, I think I just hear people whining and crying because nostalgia. Oh, this game I remember when I played this when I was 6. Well, you're 35 now. Move on with your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's change. It's inevitable. He also says Black Ops is always famous for its zombie mode. That's why it was so popular. And I think he's right about that.
I love that zombie mode.
And they got a great campaign sometimes too.
Yeah.
So the first campaign was fantastic.
Yeah.
Always play the Call of Duty campaigns first before I hit the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. And to piggyback on your point that you made, look, guys, I'm a retro guy. All right. Anybody who knows me knows I swear by retro. But if I didn't say that these games didn't come up and didn't do better, I'd be a lie. I look at Mega Man 1 through 10, 8-bit in the mug, but Mega Man 11 came out innovative as crap. I give them applause. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, no risk, no reward. And sometimes you have to take the title, the game, the nostalgia, and throw it out the window. Throw it out the window and come back with something, quote unquote, innovative. Even though I don't believe that there's anything new under the sun. It's already been done. I don't remember the last time that I played a game where I said, wow, I've never experienced this in all of my time of gaming. Like this mechanic. I don't know.
For me, that game was Dead Space 1.
Okay.
Or Resident Evil 4. Because Resident Evil 4 changed the game for me. So
cool.
I can definitely say that.
Cool. So, when do I give up on a developer to bring this full circle? I give up on a developer when they go down the path of just trying to nickel and dime you for every last single thing in the game.
Oh.
That's when I can't buy, because I'm not talking about selling me something. I'll buy your skins if I like them. I'll buy the paint if I like it, whatever. But don't put me in a position where I give you my money, my real money, okay? Because I'm grown. I can tell the difference. I don't care what you call the currency. It's real money. And you tell me, okay, you have a probability of getting it. No. I want to go, like, if I go to Walmart, I'm going to go get bread, milk, cheese, peanut butter. That's what I'm getting, okay? Don't tell me, oh, you have a 1 in 1,000 or 1,000,000 to get this, and the more money you put in, the better your chances. I don't roll like that.
That was the worst thing EA ever did, was make loot boxes, and people hate them for it. They still want to double down. They should back off.
Well, while there's people biting, they're still gonna put it out there. They're gonna milk that, and sure. You know what? They're gonna get innovative, and they're just gonna redress it and put in something else. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna find a way. They will find a way.
What you got on the Henyo?
Just step away from this topic because I think we've beat it enough with a stick.
Yeah, I agree.
In your last podcast, you stated that you were deciding a game to play, BioShock or Batman, and you kind of leaned towards BioShock. First of all, that's what you were saying, right? You wanted to start up a new game, BioShock or Batman.
Yeah.
And you also, towards the end of it, you said, "Oh, I think I'm leaning towards BioShock." First of all, both titles are great.
Amen.
So I don't think you're gonna make a bad decision in either one. I played Batman; it was good. BioShock, if you're gonna start that path, you gotta take it all the way to to infinite. So just don't play BioShock. You're not just gonna play BioShock, is what I'm telling you. You gotta play BioShock 1. You're gonna have to kind of trudge through BioShock 2, which isn't that bad. It's not a bad game, but it's more of the first, title. But you're gonna get to Infinite, and you're gonna enjoy Infinite. All right.
Now, I got the BioShock collection, so I'll have
right, and I think that should include the remastered gameplay. So I think you're gonna be in a good place there. But just don't play BioShock. Play the whole series and I'll tell you this much. I played BioShock Infinite twice, back to back.
Wow.
So I finished the game, and when I finished it, I started all over again, and it was just delicious.
That brother said it was delicious.
I ate it up, and I went back for seconds.
to take a word out of Dusty's book, it was juicy.
It was juicy. I wonder what Dusty ain't pop into the chat today, but I don't know. I put it out on Discord, but let me ask a question, because that kind of like spins off into the next thing. What compelled you to play a game and see it through?
I guess it depends on what you're really playing. Like for me, it's storyline, and then it's mechanics, and if everything flows within that certain realm and keeps me engrossed, I'll keep playing.
Yeah.
Mm.
And to me, it's graphics. Is always graphic immersion, being in it. You know, that's so graphically it has to be appealing to me. I think I mentioned earlier in one of the other podcasts. You know, I'm not so much the cartoony, you know, type of gameplay. You know, I prefer more realistic characters and you know, the land looking like real land versus not that I don't like a good cell shaded game, because I've played plenty of cell shaded games and enjoyed them. But I just, graphics, mechanics, and then from there, depending on how well that is all plays together, it'll just continue from there. I'll dive into it deeper.
Nice.
Interesting. So
Graphics though.
for you, graphics and how it draws you in, if you feel like you're in that world, and for Jay, it's that storyline and the mechanics. That's interesting. So if once those things are, you identify those things in the game and it engages you, you'll see the game through.
Mm-hmm.
Without hesitation.
Yep.
What happens when those things are there, but then something creeps up, and I want you to identify what's that one thing that will pull you away, or what are those things that will pull you away, even if you have a game that's, graphically engrossing, storyline, mechanics. What will pull you away from a game and just get you to the point where you're like, I got to move on from this game?
I think I have one of the best examples, but go ahead, Jay.
No, you take it, Henyo.
I think with me was the case with, and probably you, Sam, Horizon.
Okay.
What was it called?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, this was a game that I really wanted to play. Like I was like, from the first time I saw it, I was like, wow, that looks really cool to play. Like I was like looking at it graphically wise, I was like, okay, I think I could get into that. It has a lot of running and jumping, and it's a story of a girl that I know of so far, and it looks cool, and I've always wanted it, but it was like I didn't devote money to it. So after years, I found it in a bargain bin, and I said, okay, I'm picking it up. I'm making it mine. I finally loaded it. I started to play it, and I'm playing it, and I'm like, I really didn't like. It's not what I thought it was gonna be, but I let it play on. I let the story play on, and I started playing it. And the more I played it, it felt like I'm not really interested. Like I didn't feel connected to the character.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really, I see her as a little girl, and she was growing up. I haven't, granted, I only got like I would say maybe 2-3 hours worth of gameplay, and I just didn't. The connection didn't sustain. Now I recently just started playing Plague's Tale, and graphically, it's phenomenal. In my eyes, it's really good graphics, but it's very linear. Almost opposite of what New Horizon was.
Right.
So it's very story driven, and you really don't have a choice what to do. You got to follow a certain path. But it kind of sucked me in because of the storyline, the graphics, and I didn't care that I'm just walking down the straight path and I can't stray away from it. Unlike Horizon did. Horizon allowed you kind of to explore. Yeah, it was story driven, but it kind of let you explore the area and go do other things besides the storyline. And it just, I started shifting my focus on one game over the other. And what it was, okay, to me it was graphics. Number one, I liked the way play. We were talking about this even before I started the game, Sam. I was like, I think I want to try out the Plague's Tale, and you were telling me, oh, I tried that one out, I liked it, and I was like, all right, I'm in. Now I'm up to like chapter 12, I think.
Oh, okay.
And I ate through it. I'm literally like playing hours and hours of it, just eating it up versus what I felt when I was playing that Horizon game. I just couldn't get into I didn't feel connected to the character the way I do with this one, which is developed by Osobo, which is made by Flight Simulator. I pointed that out to you. So graphics.
Yeah, and it's not to say that Horizon Zero Dawn is a bad game, right? I mean, it just didn't capture you, and maybe because you didn't play it during the period where the game was like hot.
Yeah.
I think that's another factor, that you get a game that the hype is being built up. Okay, that's what's happening with Cyberpunk. And then it's like, I gotta play this game like now because everyone's gonna be talking about it. Everyone's gonna be making videos everywhere I turn. The game is gonna be in my face. But if you let it go by and you come back to it a year, 2 years, maybe it's not gonna have that same attraction, right? I think some games are just hype.
Well, I guess mine would be, and I guess the sad, it's another Sony game, but mine was God of War.
God of War, okay.
Yeah, and we all know God of War was a great game. Graphically impressive, storyline even more impressive, game mechanics impressive. But I played the game for about an hour, and I was like, okay, I do the Gamers Creed. Got to go to bed. I'm gonna put the game down. I'll come back to it tomorrow. But unfortunately, I haven't touched the game since because the next day Persona 5 Royale dropped, and I haven't touched God of War since then. And I haven't had the motivation. I haven't had the wherewithal to just be like, you know what? I'm gonna pick that game. I just don't want to. That game couldn't capture me in an hour. I'm not knocking the game. I think it was a fantastic game. I think it looked great. The mechanics were fantastic. I have nothing bad to say about God of War. It's just it lost me when a more prevalent game to me was released, and I was like, well, and not to mention I got God of War for free, and I didn't pay a single dime, but I paid $100 for Persona 5 Royale. And
is that a big time factor where you actually got some skin in one game and the other one you got as a freebie?
Nah, really. No. Normally, I try to play my free games. I mean, talking to a guy that has a lot of emulators, and so playing free games ain't nothing but a thing to me. It was just, I think we've had this discussion once in a while. It's if a game can't catch your attention, no matter how good it is in a certain amount of time, you almost write it off.
Right.
And you kind of have to think about it and be like, do I really want to play that game? Then maybe a year later, you know what? Finish it. So I'm going to start it over. And I think we've all done that at least once or twice.
Yeah, you hit on a couple of good points there. You and Henyo. Paco says that's how he felt about State of Decay. Definitely the storyline was what keeps him playing. And then he says simple gameplay goes a long way. And I can't agree more with that. Simple gameplay, it needs to be something I can engage with. And sometimes I just don't want to learn the combos and the mechanics of a combat system. I just want to be able to hit a button and that's it. It does what it does, and I can just keep progressing. But yeah, you said something, I think it was you, Jay. How important is it for a game, and how long should a game take before you're engrossed? How long are you willing to play that game before you go, yeah, I'm going to play this game and I'm going to see it through, or I'm just going to put it down?
I think if you sit down and you're playing a game, and you look up and 2 hours has gone by, you're hooked. Like there is
no concept of time, huh?
That's it.
That's how I was with this Sonic Racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you'll sit back, you'll be into it like, yo, and then you'll look up and be like, oh, what time is it? I gotta go.
I was like that with State of Decay 2.
Yeah.
Number two.
Yeah. So I mean, it's all a matter of if you look up and time has gone by, done. And the game has your life right there. And that's usually what happens to me.
Wow. Absolutely. Okay. We should segue into what we're playing now.
Yeah. I'm trying to draw something from you guys because I don't know if it's, and I've said it before, I don't know if it's a thing with me now that I'm older, where for me, I love Game Pass because it gives me an opportunity to touch a lot of games, you know, and to experience a lot of games, even though I know that I'm not gonna see the majority of them through. You know, I'm gonna have a good time with the game for the moment that I have it, but it's been rare for me to see a game through for a while. I'm actually playing Metro Exodus right now, and I actually enjoyed that series. I beat the first two, and I'm playing the third one now. And the third one is a bit different from the first two. They kind of made it kind of open world ish. So I don't know how I feel about that yet. But so far I'm playing it. But I don't go into games anymore thinking, okay, I'm gonna play this game and I'm gonna see it through. Do you guys still do that, or is it just something where you make that conclusion when you're there at the moment? Like, you know, does it make any sense what I'm saying?
Yeah. I devote. I you know, unless the title's really bad, and yeah, I've come across titles in which it was like, okay, I can't, you know, but some it to me, yeah, I mean, that's the goal for me, you know, to start a game and finish it, see it through, you know, so like that, if there's a second part that needs to go to or whatever, you know, another one might come out, or the storyline that you want to follow, yeah, you got to finish the game. That's a no-brainer to me. That's part of the experience.
So what do you guys think about this? Is dawning on me right now. What would you guys think about if there was an option in games? Let's say games like, and Paco just put one up, games like Assassin's Creed Origin, right? We're talking about, or Witcher 3. We're talking about games that are 40, 50, 60 hours long. That's just a story. Forget about the side missions, okay? What would you guys think about an option in a game where you can get like the abridged experience, you know? Because one of the things that drove me in Witcher 3, because I started Witcher 3 twice, okay? And both times the game was great, but I never got out of the first area where you fight the Griffin, okay? And then I heard, I don't know if it was a podcast or a review or something, but someone said this to this effect. They said, and once you get past the Griffin, the world opens up and there's like this huge, vast, and I was like, what? Because I thought the area that I was in was vast enough. And so that kind of propelled me the third time that I started playing a game, Witcher 3, to play it. I got past the Griffin, and lo and behold, the world, I mean, opened up wide open. And then after that, I must have put like another 60 hours into that game.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I still haven't finished it. But if I hadn't heard that or knew about that I had to just get past a certain point in the game, I would have missed out. I would have been right now saying, I don't know what Witcher 3 hype is all about. But I can attest to it now that Witcher 3, there's no game like Witcher 3. Open world, none. I don't think none can stand to where I've said it before. The side quests are not fetch missions. They actually have story to them. Like they mean something. The RPG elements there, the game, the world. It's an amazing game, CD Projekt Red. And that's why I have no doubt that Cyberpunk is going to be an amazing game whenever it's ready and whenever it comes out.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
So have you guys ever like experienced that? Like you've played a game, but you put it down and then later you heard, oh, did you get to the flying, did you get to the spaceship that had the dinosaur in it and it destroyed the city, moment? And you're like, what?
I was like that with Grand Theft Auto, in which just I wanted to consume everything all at once.
Okay.
It's just, there was a storyline, and definitely with Assassin's Creed, you kind of you start your venture off, and you're trying to stick to the storyline. You're
Yeah.
trying not to get too far out of it. I think Assassin's Creed to me was the biggest fail in gaming for me. Like as far
Mm.
as my gameplay, like I got so distracted with the side quests that the story I
Yeah, the
totally
side
forgot.
quest. Yep.
I totally forgot what I was trying, what the
Yep.
story was about.
Yep. That
I
happened
just
to me the first
lost
time.
all concept of what am I doing? I'm
Right.
chasing these flags. That's all I care about at
Right.
this point. And I lost total concept of the storyline, and to the point that I said, you know what, I'm not playing this game because I got so sidetracked.
Yeah. Paco made the comment where he says he never got past the Griffin. And I'm assuming that was like Witcher 3. But let me ask this question of you guys. Isn't that what gamers are asking for? Like, isn't that the expectation that a game can't just have a solid 10-hour story, linear story? It has to have the additional 50 hours of side missions. Go fetch this flag, go get these feathers, go get these medallions, go discover the hidden whatever ruins. Isn't that the culture?
Not to the point where it distracts you.
I mean,
Maybe
maybe
if it
because we older.
I definitely got I fear games like that, and I tried to play Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I said stick to the storyline, and for some damn reason I picked up something and I kept going with it, and I said, how and why am I doing this?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost like an alcoholic. You're drinking and you're going, why is there a bottle in my hand? Like it's just
Yeah.
you don't know how it happens. It just happened.
Paco just made the comment. He says, I'm going through that in Watch Dogs. Just started playing, and it's kind of slow, but I know it's going to pick up soon. Just don't know how much patience I have to get to that point. I feel like the side missions shouldn't deal with the main quest to complete it. I agree. That's why I was kind of saying, how do you guys feel about developers maybe saying, you know what, if you want the straight story, no side missions, no distractions, no alternate ending, just the story, a 10-hour solid playthrough, pick this mode.
I think that mode would be good for people that want to take the shortcut. For me, for example.
Oh, so you're calling it a shortcut. This is interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm calling, like, for me, for example, I like Shadow of Mordor, made by the old Assassin's Creed team.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many. It's just like Assassin's Creed, open world, go where you want to go, kill who you want to kill. But I actually enjoyed doing the side missions in that, because it's kind of a way for you to go, oh, I can get me a little extra stronger while I'm getting here. Give me a couple of little extra items. It had an RPG element into it as well, so I could be like, hey, I'm gonna kill a couple of enemies and grow and get my equipment, so I could be slightly stronger for the next thing, for the next story mission I got to do. So I didn't mind it.
And
That's just my opinion.
maybe that's why I like linear story
Mm.
gameplay, because you don't stray away from what you're supposed to be doing. And I love completing games. I just finished Doom.
Mm.
Ooh, good game.
I'm almost done with Plague Sale, and I think what these storylines all had in common, they're very linear. They get you from point A to point B.
Mm.
With open world games, like Grand Theft Auto and Assassin's Creed, what I notice is I'll throttle down when I'm nearing the end of the game, because I know this is the end of it, right? Versus a linear game. Okay, I'm just gonna blast through it and finish this game. There's nothing else left in this game. I'm gonna complete it and I can put it back on the shelf. But with a game like GTA, you got the multiplayer aspect, so you're kind of just saying, okay, this is the ending of the game. I kind of want to take it in, and you kind of slow down, and you run around the city or do whatever you right before you're gonna end the game.
Right.
And I call that throttling down. It's just, all right, I'm gonna make this last. I want the experience. I want to enjoy the experience of finishing the game, and you slow down the gameplay.
Paco says I would do it, no questions asked. Yeah. So Jay is of the opinion that you're cheating. It's a shortcut. You're not a true gamer. If you don't do it the hard way. So he wouldn't take the mode. That's interesting. I think it depends on the player, on your style. Like, I know for me, if I'm gonna go into an open world game like Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, these open world games, I want to experience the game and I want to go through the story, and I have to focus really hard on just doing the story. And what you said hits a nerve, Henyo, because like I found myself in the Division and in the Division 2, and mind you, those weren't like Academy Award winning stories. I just powered through it because I wanted to level up and get to end game. And that's another thing. You want to power up, get to end game, because that's when the quote unquote real game starts. And the flip side of it is that you hear people complaining, oh, the story sucked. Well, yeah, it did, because most people probably played the game not for the story. They played it to get to the end game so they can get to the, multiplayer type content. Right?
Well, and to piggyback on him, when we were playing Division 1 actively, we really didn't care about the storyline. There were maybe a few instances where we paid attention. Otherwise, we were like, yo, we got to go and burn these characters up so we can get to everything else this game has to offer.
Right.
And that's games like Division, so on and so forth. Those games, you're not worried about the story right away. You're worried about getting to the end game so you can see what this game truly has to offer you.
Yeah. Paco says doing side missions should be optional, not mandatory to progress.
And Paco is absolutely 100% right. You should have a choice to whether you want to do it or not. And that's why I like Shadow of War. You get to choose whether you want to do it.
That lends to extending the gameplay. So let's say you don't want to plow through the ending of the game. You could do a little side mission before reaching the next level.
Yeah, because don't forget, guys, and again, correct me if I'm wrong or if you disagree, but, video games are not movies. Someone produces a movie, scripts a movie, actors play out their scenes. You're there. You're a passive participant. You're there. You see it. You get your jump scare. You cry. You laugh, whatever. And after an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, if it's a long movie, you're done. Right? But with games, we're being invited into this world and saying, hey, now you have agency over this character, and there's some choices here you have to make, and so it's inviting you to come in and to be a part of the world and to give you the illusion of causing change in the world or whatever. But what you're actually doing is just building yourself up to the extent that you can function in this world, right? To ultimately get to the end content.
More or less.
Right? That's the game. That's gaming.
That's hitting it on the head if you really want to, call it for what it is.
Yeah. So as a retro gamer, right, Jay? We didn't have those fillers in the old school games. It was straight through. It was like, figure out the pattern, figure out the rhythm, and play the game. And once you figured that out, that's your game. There was no side missions and power-ups and this and that and the other.
Actually, I can name you a couple of retro games that actually did that.
That did side missions?
Yeah. Dragon Warrior, Final Fantasy.
Okay, but I'm talking about older games.
Final Fantasy 1?
I'm talking about older games. I'm talking about Mega Man. I'm talking about these older games.
Yeah, Dragon Quest came out on the NES.
Okay.
And
but isn't Dragon Quest an RPG?
Well, you said game. You didn't necessarily.
True.
give me any
I stand corrected. Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
so
RPGs have that element, right? Of powering you up, and maybe you don't necessarily have to get that extra skill point, to get to the game, the end content, but it might make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of games that gave you the sidetrack route, but you didn't have to take it because, as to prove Paco's point, you could just go through the game normally and not worry about it, or you had the choice to take the side route and get just that little extra nudge and power.
And I agree with what Paco just said. He said that's why I love those Telltale games. Yeah, because the Telltale games, they give you the illusion that you're actually, affecting the change in the game, but ultimately they're gonna take you to the conclusion, right? You just, you decide whether so and so lives or so and so dies, whatever. But ultimately, you're gonna get the story that they created. Does anybody remember State of Emergency?
State of Emergency.
I remember State of Emergency. I played that game a whole lot.
What was State of Emergency?
What was it? Paco, describe State of Emergency in that chat. I played that game a whole lot.
Just send it to me via the text, Paco.
Yeah, it's cool. It was a really cool game. It took place in a mall.
Yeah, I never played State of Emergency.
It's like State of Emergency. What's this game? Dang, what's this game? With like Dead Rising, but back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah, I seen that cover before, but I never got
into
it.
What system was that on, Paco?
State of
Was that on
2, Xbox, and Microsoft Windows?
OG Xbox?
Xbox. OG.
Wow, OG Xbox. Why'd I thought that it was on 360?
Nope.
Had it for the original Xbox. Yeah, I had it for the original Xbox as well.
Microsoft Windows 2002.
Oh, wow. This actually looks kind of cool.
I might have to see if that game is available in the store and pick it up just to play. That was a cool game. That was a really cool game back in the days. All right, guys, we're winding down here to the end. Let me move on from this. What do we have here? You still got the candy rush in you?
Yeah,
still I'm full of candy.
This brother over here giggling like a princess.
Henyo was a Kit Kat drug dealer on Halloween. He was ready to hit some kid over the head with 5 bags of candy.
We got a cauldron full of candy here.
Oh my gosh!
This brother said a cauldron.
And ain't nobody looking at him right now. All you hear is wrappers opening and him just. But what's on the shopping list here for Christmas? And Black Friday's gonna be interesting this year. Wonder if people are gonna go in mass mobs and cough on each other and sweat on each other as they try to grab that last TV, or how that's gonna get done this year. But what's on the shopping list? Anything specific for anybody here?
Well, for my son, I got to get him a couple of video games, and when kids get older, it becomes harder to shop for them. They're not old enough for me to just throw them a gift card and tell them to move on. So I got to put a little bit more effort into shopping. But right now, it's a couple of video games I would like to do. Probably going to do the arcade one up for him as well.
Oh, you're going to do an arcade one up?
Yeah.
Which one?
Miss Pac-Man. So they got one that just came out with Miss Pac-Man, Galaxian, Dig Dug.
Oh, dang.
Nice. I love Dig Dug.
Dang. You're going to give them all the classics.
Hey, look, man, if you in my house, you're going to learn the classics before you think you're going to deal with all this new goodness.
Dang.
See, I should barter with Jay here. I should give him my computer services, and in return, he'll emulate all these games.
There you go.
Don't tip me, man, because I'll go dig up some emulators. That ain't nothing.
This brother got games. I'm still waiting on some games.
Hold on. See this brother coughing. Hold on, let me go ahead. this up real quick.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, if I did a 1-up, it would have to be NBA Jam.
I just seen that one at the Walmart.
NBA Jam.
You know
I just love that NBA Jam. I played a lot of NBA Jam with Javi and with Paco.
You know it's got NBA Wi-Fi built in, right?
Yes. Yep.
So that's oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to.
Paco's talking about, God willing, I will be working and get that new Xbox. You guys think that the new Xbox or PlayStation 5 are going to be available the remainder of this year?
No, I'm waiting after Christmas.
I think there will be availability.
You think so?
There's no way Microsoft will lose out on this opportunity.
No, I'm gonna say no, because every holiday season a system drops without fail. You can never find them until after Christmas. So if you don't get them this Christmas season, if you ain't lucky, just wait till after Christmas.
Wow. What would be your strategy of securing? I mean, obviously, I don't think none of us here pre-ordered, right?
I thought you did.
No, I didn't pre-order.
Oh,
He's trying to get a pre-order.
Yeah, I was trying to like hack the system, but it didn't work. But I have to contact my peeps over at GameStop and see what's up. I mean, they're probably gonna tell me, well, if you want a system, you got to be like at the door, at like 6 a.m. or something. I don't know, man. I don't know about camping out.
But I can't do it, man. I mean, they're saying there are going to be some systems available for Black Friday, but I need who wants to go out there and fight with the public for a game system?
I do.
Black Friday.
This
brother going to have baseball bats and bulletproof vests.
Nah, I just mean mug everybody. That's all. That's just it. Just roll up in there and just mean mug everybody.
Until he meets somebody that's 6'10", like 450, like you gonna move. Like,
well, for that you go strap. That's that's. I ain't trying to fight you. You 6 something. I ain't stupid. I'll be like, hold on, brother. Hold on. I gotta go get something. I gotta go get something. I'll be right back.
You willing to take a big man down for a new Xbox?
Nah, man, it ain't that serious. Y'all know I'm messing with y'all, but it might be serious if the store manager where I frequent tells me, hey, if you're here and you're one of the first, 10 or 12. I don't know. I might do it. I might go out that day.
That brother be out there in some slippers and pajama pants with no shirt on. Like,
nah, brother. I never leave my house without looking clean. All right. I'm sorry. Nah, man. Nah, that's not me. Even when I'm dressed down, I'm looking good. That's, I'm perfumed and everything, bro. Nope.
First impression is the only impression.
No, man. But so Paco talk about what he says. Let's play Minecraft Dungeons. I need a crew. I got a hookup for Best Buy. Let me know. You got a hookup for Best Buys? Are you serious? I don't know about what this hookup is.
Yeah, like what you mean Minecraft Dungeon is hookup? You got to do some explaining.
No, he's talking about he had a hookup for Best Buy. We gonna talk after the podcast, man. I'm gonna have to hit you up.
Look at this brother trying to pull some strings already.
Hey, you know what? It's all about who you know, right? And who knows you. That's all. That's how we do it, man. But that's why I think, I don't know. I kept hearing that there's gonna be a shortage. There's not gonna be enough in stock. Forget it. But I want to believe what Henyo's saying, that I don't think they're gonna miss out on the opportunity. And I think that all of these retailers have just held back and are just waiting for like the system launch. I really do.
I believe in waiting for the second wave. I mean, just being honest.
Second wave, like in April?
In all fairness.
Yeah, I want to wait for the second wave of systems, because usually the first wave of systems have problems, and I'm like, you know what? I want to avoid all that, so I'm just going to wait for the second wave.
In fairness here, there's more of a funneling happening now with storefronts. So maybe they will be out of stock, because we no longer have a Toys R Us and a KB
Oh.
toy store and this and that. Now we're kind of regulated to just like Best Buy, Target, and GameStop. You know, as a storefront, you know, we're not gonna be able to go to different outlets to go grab an Xbox. So maybe, you know, there might not be enough stock. So, you know, I'm honestly, I'm not getting an Xbox or a PlayStation. I invested on a PC. Will I get an Xbox? Probably. Will I get a PlayStation 5? Probably, but not this year, and probably not by mid next year.
And you don't need an Xbox. You already have an Xbox. It's called your PC.
There is plenty of PlayStation 4 games that I have yet to boot up, and Witcher's 3 is one of them. So
isn't that on Game Pass now?
Get past the Griffin.
Yeah.
Get past the Griffin. Get out of that first area.
I have it on the PlayStation, so I'll most likely play it on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
But just ending here real quick, one up arcade booths. My top games that would be in that booth: Tempest, Star Wars, Space Invaders, Asteroids, Marble Madness, Defender, Paperboy, Dig Dug, Cuber, and Centipede.
Dang.
That would be my arcade one up booth.
You telling me this brother? You talking about I Win Classic? This brother put out Tempest.
Right?
He pulled out Tempest.
I loved Tempest. Tempest put me. It kind of said, there's a lot different games than side scrolling.
So for those of you who don't know nothing about Tempest was a basic shooter game, but that game was so addicting, it was like crack.
And it was all geometric, like line pixels. I don't know how to describe it. And you're shooting down a well almost, and you have spiders coming up, and you have to destroy the spiders.
You know, there is a Tempest arcade one up.
Wow, that's crazy.
Buy it for me.
But man, yo, big, you a grown ass man. You buy your own.
I work hard and I pay the bills.
I said my money's already spent before I get it.
Yeah,
and not by me.
Well, you know, for those of you who want to know, if you buy an arcade one up, you can modify it with a retro Pi to play pretty much any game you want.
All right, so I'm gonna jump down your throat now, Jay. I'm sorry, but this is coming from brother. I love you, but this is coming from you, who in the last episode you said people just don't want to think. They don't want to use their brain, and you're gonna tell them to go modify a one-up unit with a retro Pi. I'm like, okay, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. Okay. It's not gonna happen.
Just because I make a suggestion doesn't mean you have to follow.
Okay, he tried to clean it up. You saw how he tried to clean it up? Okay. I just had a bust your chops. I'm like, this brother talking about, when y'all talk about PC, it's want. And now he's like, yeah, just modify, get an emulator for your retro Pi. So people like, what? Who's this?
Well, I've been dealing with emulators, man. So I can work with an emulator.
See, that's a computer. The retro Pi is a computer, bro. You ain't know that? This guy, it's getting late, bro. You know, we've been in this conversation here for almost 2 hours. It's an hour and 55 minutes. It's been so long that YouTube is telling me the stream's current bit rate is higher than the recommended. It's giving me like error messages, which is a lie. It's just a flat out lie, man, because I have the actual bit rate and the internet to support it. So they're just telling us, hey, y'all need to go to sleep. That's what they're saying.
Just real quick on the chat here, Streets of Rage. It's funny that Richard brings this up. Didn't we mention this on an offline conversation about playing this game?
Yes, Streets of Rage. Yep.
I'm all about some Streets of Rage. I played every single Streets of Rage game now, all of them, and beat them all.
Yeah, Streets of Rage is great. The music is great. The gameplay, just your old school beat 'em up. It's an all around good time. I've been kind of like to wind down here since no one else shared what's on their Christmas list. I have been playing a lot on xCloud. Is what I've been playing for the last week or so. I actually been playing Halo Reach on cloud.
Good game.
I've been playing what's this other game for the last 2-3 nights? Tell Me Why. It's like a Telltale game. And I've been enjoying it because it's just a chill game where I can just lay in bed. And yes, I'm streaming that from my console. So if you guys haven't seen that video on how to set that up, that game I'm actually playing from my console. So my console's downstairs, I'm upstairs in my bed, and I'm playing that on my Samsung Ultra 20 whatever Note, whatever it's called, on the Razer Kishi device that I got.
And now you can realize how old he is because he just gave it away.
What?
Yeah,
that brother couldn't even get it out. He was just like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever, man. I mean, you know, when you gotta name your item like with 12 different names, you lost me. Like, give me an acronym or something, bro. Make it simple. So whatever. People know what I mean. It's like, yeah, I ain't got no time for that.
That controller, that little keyshot. I saw your review on your setup on it, and it really piqued my interest.
Yeah, that Razer Kishi is dope. Let me tell you, I think it's overpriced, to be honest.
How do the buttons feel on it?
It feels like an Xbox controller. The only comment that I made that the R1 and R2, the back bumper buttons, you know, I don't have no complaints with them, but I think the device is overpriced, but you're paying for the convenience and for the accessibility. And once you put it on and you play with that controller, because I used to have it set up where I used to have an actual Xbox controller and the clip, and I would put my phone and it would rest in the clip over my controller. But after about a half hour of playing, your wrists got to work out because, you know, you got all that weight that you're trying to, like, you know, balance. But with the Razer Kishi, it's almost like you have a switch in your hand.
Oh, that's kind of dope.
Yeah, you haven't seen the video, obviously, so.
Nah, I haven't been on YouTube yet.
Oh man, you ain't a fan. This is cool. I see you show up for DFG Podcast, but you don't see the videos. That's cool.
Oh no, coming from the man who can't even finish playing Resident Evil on the video, so come on now.
That's okay. That's my prerogative, bro.
Yeah, hey, that's right. It's my
Yeah, that would be a nice little gift. I really don't have anything on my Christmas list as far as gaming goes. I don't think there's anything out there I want.
I'll be honest, Henyo, if I had to choose, let me not say choose. If I can't secure an Xbox Series X, and there's none this season, but I come across a 3080, I'm getting the 3080.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, to a computer question, do you guys, do they, you know, when they run low on like graphics cards, I guess what the 3080 is, do they pump them out fast to, you know, get the market so people can get their hands on them faster, or is it kind of a waiting kind of game?
You don't want to, you don't want to overflood it because then you got stock sitting, right? So they had to gauge, what's the demand like and stuff like that. Right now, obviously, the demand is high. I think there was a couple of issues on the 3090 and the 3080, so they might, fix that up. So, I don't think they're gonna flood the market with cards. You still have to kind of wait it out to get one. And if a store does get one, it's gonna be maybe a bundle of 5, and they'll just keep refilling them until no more orders come in. But you won't see them stacked like you will Xbox and PlayStation.
Mm. Okay.
PC gaming is a very particular market, unlike the consoles. Somebody could just go pick up eggs, milk, and a PS5. PC gamers know I'm gonna get my hardware from here. I know what I want. I know my setup. So they targeting where they're gonna pick it up from, and when. So availability to me on that hardware still will not be as much as consoles.
That's interesting.
Are computer parts more? Do they fly off the shelf more than say consoles do?
They're not. There's not as much bulk as a console, right? So when Best Buy receives a shipment of RGB fans or video cards or SSD cards, they're not gonna keep like 20 of them. It's gonna be a short. In other words, they rather have some on hand, and then if they need more, they'll call in more, because the demand is just not there. Because if I can't find it at Best Buy, I'm gonna order it through Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with a console, you could just walk into Target, Best Buy, GameStop, whatever local area you have, and just pick it up right there. For the masses, it doesn't. It's just a targeted. There's a smaller target of people that want hardware specific to their PC versus a wider range of users that are just going to go pick up a console. Their biggest decision is PlayStation or Xbox.
Right.
So there's going to be limited quantity whenever it comes to a PC, no matter how old or how new the technology is. Right. So.
Yeah, let me interject real quick. Paco, yes, you can go ahead and share this. And if you guys are listening to this on a replay, whether that's a day, a month, a year from now, go ahead and share this out with your mama, your daddy, your aunt, uncle, nieces, nephews, your dog, your neighbor, your worst enemy. Go ahead and share it, all right? But going back, if I can insert something, the specificity of and no matter how, even as a casual gamer and a console gamer way longer than being a PC gamer, I realized that no matter how often we say that the Xbox and the PlayStation, and for that matter the Switch, are computers, they are and they're not. Because you have in a console, you have a closed boxed system. You're not going to go in there and swap out the CPU. That's not happening. You're not going in there and ripping out the RAM. That's not going to happen. The most you can do is probably, upgrade your memory, and that's it. And that most of the time is through an external port, at least on the Xbox. So like what Henios is saying is, when you go, as a PC guy, specifically what your need is, and not everybody is getting the latest and greatest. They're not getting the 3080. There might be people going back a generation now and saying, okay, 3080s, 3070, 3060s are out now. I'm gonna go get a 2060. And that's what their setup is for.
That 2060 was the King Kong back in the day before the new stuff came out, more or less.
Well, whatever it was, it's just, it all depends on like your setup, and what you're doing. I think we alluded to that the last time. I said I didn't want to get into it, but if you're gaming and your setup for your thing is, I'm good playing at 1080p resolution, I got a nice monitor for that, this is where my budget is at, this is where I'm good playing, then you're gonna build for that. You know what I'm saying? That's the customization. That's the beauty of it. And you can build at, for that with the thought of, okay, let me future proof myself and invest in a board that I can upgrade the CPU and the GPU and the RAM. You know, when I am ready or I want to make that jump to 1440 or 4K. So, you know, it's with that kind of thought in mind, you know. The best advice that I got, I don't know who gave it to me, but I heard when I was going to build my computer, one of the best advice that I got was, what's your budget and what do you want to do with your computer? If it's gaming, if it's streaming, build for that. And what is your budget? Stay within your means, because it's so easy to go out there and go look for what you want. And then right next to it is something that's just a little bit better, and it just costs a little bit more money. And then you get caught in that trap, you know? And you're easily spending more money than you really need to.
Yeah. And that was going to be my question to Jay. You know, I know he wants to build himself a computer. So, you know, again, what are you going to do on it? Are you going to video edit? Are you going to just install all your emulators and run your emulators? Are you actually going to be, you know, running Cyberpunk on your computer? You know, so those are just different levels of, you know, of computers. You don't need to, you know, if you're just going to, you know, have internet service, read emails, and run your emulators, you know, you don't need to follow the Power PC path. You know, you could get by, you know, running your games at, you know, at your discretion. And, you know, you might, you know, make your computer nose heavy by installing a really nice video card, but, you know, will the memory and the processor be able to keep up with that demand?
Well, I'm going ahead and announcing it now. I'm definitely going the power path because I want to stream and game and run my emulator. So if I can't do all that, there's no point in me even remotely getting involved.
Well, and when you say stream, then you got to take, again, there's the factors. Are you streaming? If you're streaming to YouTube, you know, if you want to stream at 4K HDR, then that's what you're going to build for. Or are you going to stream at 1080? You know, you got to take all those things, because when you say power, again, there's different degrees, different levels of power.
Well, I'm not going for end all be all, but I want my system strong enough to be able to handle what I want to do and not struggle.
Okay. I mean, so you're looking for something that is going to run your emulators. You're going to be able to stream, you know, let's say if you're going to stream to YouTube, you know, YouTube is going to run, you can be just fine with 1080p. You don't have to do 1440p resolution. If you want to game at 1080p and get yourself a nice, you know, looking monitor, get yourself last gen graphics card or whatever, again, it's what you want to do, and you can start off at a certain base and then see where you're at and say, okay, when I'm ready to do this and take this step, then you upgrade. That's what I did when I first started. That's what I did. You know, I've gone through an i3 CPU, an i5. I skipped the i7 on Henyo's recommendation and got an i9. But that's over the last, 3 years?
Oh, 2 years.
No, it's been 3.
Has it been 3?
Yeah, it's been 3 years, brother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, over the last 3 years. And I've yet to upgrade my graphics card. And I'm running at 1440p right now with my graphics card. I got a 1080. And a 1080 is like 2 generations ago? Henyo? I don't know. Maybe Henyo knows.
Oh yeah, those are 2 generations back.
It's 2 generations back. So, and I'm playing 1440 now. I can't do like ray tracing and DLSSR, like that would kill my my GPU. It wouldn't be able to handle it. But I don't need that. Like for me, I'm not, you know, I don't want to do that now. I know that the next thing I'm gonna upgrade is definitely gonna be my graphics card. But It's not, it's not a necessity.
So you're going. I mean, you're doing it one
It's
step
not
at a time.
available.
Exactly. Just little by little is what I'm doing. But that was over the course of 3 years, And I think I made the comment before. I'm still going to play on the console exclusives, but a lot of what I've noticed that I've been playing on my computer has been Game Pass games. These titles that I wouldn't have played on my console, because my console, I look at it as, oh, these are for my major games. But like last night, I booted up Unruly Heroes is on Game Pass Ultimate on the PC. A Plague's Tale, I'm playing on PC. What's the other one? Let me see if I can bring it up. I'm gonna bring this up and tell you what I've been playing. I just downloaded Grim Fandango Remastered. Grizz is another game that I'm playing. I have Nightcall on standby. The Swords of Ditto, Mormo's Curse. I played that game for like an hour and a half and I enjoyed it. And that's all on Game Pass Ultimate. And on the PC side. And I'm playing that on PC. So, those games, I think some of those games are not available on Game Pass for the console. So I'm enjoying those games there. And yes, I'm playing with a controller. Not mouse and keyboard. I just plug in my Xbox controller and I'm playing.
Yes. But ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Uh-oh.
The Sandman has
I was waiting for it.
I
was waiting for him to tap out.
I have one comment.
Wow, this brother.
I was waiting for you to come out with the closing line. I know that's when you're ready to tap out. Richard says he just shared on his Facebook. Thank you, I appreciate it, brother. And Unruly Heroes is pretty dope. Yep, it's a side-scrolling game. It reminds me of what's that game? I just lost it. Anyways, go check that game out, Unruly Heroes. But what were we gonna say, Henyo, before we sign out here? And I don't want,
I need a tagline like Jay does, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I need
you got to come up with something.
I got like 3 of them, man.
Yeah, I need one.
Yeah, because Jay is ladies and gentlemen of the jury, or at the end of the day. When he says at the end of the day, it's like he's done with it.
End of the day.
Well, then hold on. Let me go ahead and break it out then. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have a wonderful new year, a happy Thanksgiving.
Brother, we're not going to be on next week. Where you going? Are you going like on a trip? This guy, he's asleep. He's already asleep. He's already in his coffin. I guarantee you. He's already laying in his coffin. He's gone. He's already crossed over.
At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it is your money.
It is your
choice. Spend your money how you want to. Don't be a lemming and don't follow these rules.
Yeah, don't be a lemming. That's another thing. Don't be a lemming and follow everyone else.
I have no tagline. I don't know what.
Man, it'll come to you, man. It'll come to you. And don't forget the almighty report, block, delete.
Report, block, delete. I'm waiting for the T-shirt. Yo, we have to put even if it's just like us 3 and Paco who get the shirt. And Dusty, maybe if he hears about it, he'll get it. He's going night. Yeah, Jay doesn't got any staying power. He's just, once it's time to go, it's time to go.
Look, I got to get up at 5 in the morning because I got to take my kids to school. So if y'all can give me a little slack on that, I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
I don't get it twisted. I live with some coffee in the morning. It just ain't gonna do it tonight.
Oh my gosh! All right. Well, Henry, you got anything else to say? Anything else to add before we, put the blankie on Jay?
Mm-hmm. Gamers of the world, I want you to unite.
Oh my God.
Wait a minute. Are we Captain Planet out here?
Came into the world. Unite. Why I saw like us like wearing like rings and we all came together like in a trifecta or something and
This man threw up the Thundercat symbol like, yo,
oh my
let's
God.
I need a tagline.
We're gonna have you. We're gonna have you work on that. It's gotta come. It's gotta be natural. You just gotta like let it come out. It's gonna come out eventually. It'll just come out.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna say a phrase and everybody's gonna be like, yo.
Yeah.
And then there it is right there.
Yeah. Like when I started streaming on Mixer, Drama Free Gaming, that just came to me. I was just like, I didn't sit down and plan anything. I was just like, yo, I'm gonna call it Drama Free Gaming.
It just happened.
And that was it. And then, it is what it says and it says what it is. That just came out. It was like cool. So hey, it'll come.
Don't force it. That's the best way.
Don't force it. Just be one with the force. That's all.
Yeah. So as they say, hold on, it'll come to you at the right time.
Yeah.
Just gotta talk sweet too.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't even hear him no more. That's how sleepy he is. Anyways, guys.
Wow.
We're going to shut it down here. We appreciate it. Hey, this was supposed to be a part 1 of 2. It might still be that, but everybody's running out of steam here. And, Jay's got to go night. So until next time, guys, check us out. DFG Podcast. Just look it up here on Drama Free Gaming on YouTube. Appreciate you being here. Hopefully, you got the code. I did drop it in the chat. So whoever got that, that's cool. Hope you enjoyed that. Maybe in the future, we might do some more giveaways. And remember, we're not sponsored by anybody. So this is all charity here. So, if you get something, great. And if you don't, great. Whatever.
Hey,
it's like
sponsored, we don't get no love. So the love we get, we give. And that's usually 0 at the moment.
Yep. And if you want to like donate, that's cool too. Just hit me up. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna hit my Discord link, and you can just touch with bases with me there. But until next time, people, do good, be good, and as always, keep your life and your gaming drama free. Later, people.
Later.
Later.